from the Staten Island ferry, where it dropped us off in Manhattan, all the way to Times Square and then to Central Park, which is over 3 miles. Just enjoying the scenery. Got the best cold brew.
Oh, yeah. The pointed one?
Yes. Can you look up here?
Store. So weird.
Nice over there. It's a great store. Yeah. I can't imagine being here on New Year's. Gap, H&M, Big Lots.
So you need to go out and do with that. She got beads! Woohoo! Are you?
This is a boring park.
May in Central Park. So quiet here compared to the rest of New York City. Down we go to use the subway. May found a walking stick in Central Park. May's first ride on the subway.
It's not my first ride.
On a subway? Hop on. Huh? Hold on to here. Hold on. How are you doing it, Charlie?
Charlie, you pulled up too fast. Huh? You gotta pull up slow.
Look how good you're doing.
No, that's wrong. There's probably a crab and then you'll knock it off. That's what happened to us.
Oh.
Hey, boy, now you can just pick that crab.
Where's that big major king crab you had?
It got away.
That's what I said too.
Jellyfish.
Hey, little crabby.
Mom, there's like 3 jellyfish
Run
here.
back to the water, dude.
Mom, there's 3 jellyfish.
Yeah. Why won't he go back to the water? We're setting our crabs free that we caught. This one's not wanting to go back out. Feeding him the leftover fish. Oh, he missed it. Did he get it?
Wait, keep it away. Trust me, after a couple seconds.
Colton lost a tooth on the way home from New Jersey. That's so random. 3 babies asleep.
Mom, do you have a baggie?
So we went to New York City, as you could see, and we drove into where Staten Island, the ferry left Staten Island. So we parked at Staten Island and we took the ferry all the way over to the Manhattan area, which was cool because you got to see the Statue of Liberty and see the skyline of New York City as you were coming in, and it was the Staten Island ferry is free, and it was just a 25-minute ride, so it was perfect. And then from there, we walked from Manhattan, decided we were going to walk all the way to Central Park and hit all the things we wanted to see along the way, which was over 3 miles, but we're like, that's how we really get to see New York City. So we stopped at the 9/11 Memorial on the way, which was amazing. I got some video in here, but it just doesn't do it justice. And stopped at a restaurant to eat along the way, stopped at a few shops along the way. You have all the food trucks. We kind of got into the little heart of New York City where it wasn't as busy because we were walking so far. we hit Times Square along the way, which was all the lights and craziness, and Spider-Man and superheroes were there, and people doing acts and gymnastics out on the street, and May did some gymnastics with them. So Times Square was really, really cool, just like you would imagine. And then we finally got to Central Park. And Central Park was so cool because when you're in the city, it's constant noise. Ambulances, fire trucks going 24/7, people walking around, just noise. I mean, it's just noisy being in a city like that big. And then you walk into Central Park and immediately it's quiet, which is so weird because you're still in New York City, but it's like the trees and everything just block the sound, and it's so peaceful and quiet. It's crazy. And I wish we would have gotten to see more of Central Park. We just kind of ran out of time. I mean, we spent all day there, but it was just pretty and peaceful. Like if I lived in the city, I could see myself going to Central Park to unwind every day because it's just quiet, and it has all these rock walls you can climb up, and kids can play on, or you can climb and sit on, and playgrounds and little grassy areas to sit in. Some of them were fake grass, but they still had grassy areas. So Central Park was really cool. I wish we would have explored more of that, but we just got to see a small part of it and we didn't really have time. So then we decided to take the subway back because our feet were hurting and it was getting late. So we took the subway to Soho and stopped there and went to some of the shops, did a little shopping, and then we took the subway back to the ferry. Didn't get lost once, which completely shocked me, and we walked over 11 miles total, which I'm surprised my 8-year-old kept up with very little complaining. And honestly, I loved it. I mean, the last time I went to New York City was over 10 years ago, and I don't remember loving it or being all that interested in it, but it was just so neat seeing all the diversity of people and things going on around you, and there's just so much to watch. I mean, you could go there and just people watch for hours, and it wasn't scary at all. People are telling me, oh, it's dangerous, you shouldn't be going. With that small group, you need a father figure with you, like your husband, or don't wear a backpack. They told me not to wear a backpack because that was dangerous, whatever. I mean, obviously any city has dangerous parts and are a little bit more dangerous, but it was fine. I mean, everybody was super nice and we didn't have any issues. We didn't get lost. It wasn't scary, and I wore a backpack and I survived. Nobody stole anything from me, so it was nice. It was a good trip. So we got back super late, like 11 o'clock at night, and so the whole day was New York City, and then we did a little bit of crabbing and like the ice cream and things like that while we got ready and packed up to leave Friday night from New Jersey. The drive back was long. My sister and I drove through the night because we have all those kids and it's easier when they sleep. So we drove through the night, so both of us probably only got a couple hours of sleep here and there while the other one was driving. So I was exhausted yesterday when I got back. I tried to lay down on the couch for like a half hour and I couldn't really fall asleep for very long, so I finally got up and we went to a friend's house and went swimming, and then I went home and crashed, but it was fun. And then today I had to get Ilsa, my exchange student from Norway, onto her flight to go home. And honestly, you guys, it was super sad. Like when I first decided to have an exchange student and when she was first coming over, I didn't think I would get that attached and it would be that hard when she left. But I mean, she's like been a part of our family for a year. She's pretty much been my teenage daughter for a year, and it's gonna be so weird not to have my teenager around and have someone to go to Starbucks with or shopping with or have to worry about prom or driving her to and from school or doing her laundry. Like all those things that I've gotten used to doing for the last year, all of a sudden I'm not going to be doing anymore. And it's a really strange feeling, and it's super sad, and I've got a little emotional, even though I'm not really usually an emotional person. But I just keep trying to think of how blessed we are that we had her for a year, and that I now have a daughter for life, even though she's overseas and I won't be able to see her very often. I know she'll come back to visit. I know we'll go to Norway, and I know we'll be in touch with her and a part of her life for the rest of her life. So it was definitely worth it, but just super sad that like it's all over already. Like that went so fast. This last year went so fast. I know it's gonna be hard on my kids. Colton and Malin are already been worried about this and wondering if she'll come back and visit, and May's gonna take it hard, I know, because she loved having a big sister for a year, and Ilsa would do her makeup and brush her hair, and We took Chicago trips together because May's like Ilsa. She loves shopping. She loves going to the big city. So we did all that together. So it's going to be hard. I think it's going to hit her the most that Ilsa's gone. And also May doesn't deal with change well. She gets very nostalgic about these kinds of things. So I'm hoping she is okay with everything and knows that we can FaceTime her. But Colton surprised me. I didn't think he'd care at all, but as this time got closer and closer, he's been asking me like, Mom, do you think Ilsa will really come back and visit us? I'm like, yes, of course she'll come back to visit us. And every night he's like, Mom, it's gonna be so weird when Ilsa's gone. But he's had a lot of time with Ilsa because I would let him come home from school or stay home when I wasn't gonna be there because Ilsa's there. So they've had a lot of one-on-one time together. And so it is going to be really strange for him too, having her gone. I mean, she's been his big sister too. Sam, I don't know. You never know what Sam's thinking. So I don't know how he'll take it because he's just quiet and whatever. But he thinks a lot more than he lets on. So I don't know what he'll think of her being gone. And Charlie, I think, is just going to be confused. And I know he's going to ask me for weeks, where's Ilsa? And the way he says her voice is so cute. So he'll be sad because I think he's gotten really attached to her. So super sad and emotional day that I kept kind of being in denial that was coming because it just happened so quick. Like, she was here for a whole year, just a part of our family, and now all of a sudden she's gone. So I know her parents are gonna be glad to have her back, but I'm like, well, now I don't have my teenager anymore. Like, what am I gonna do? But yeah, so it's been a crazy, busy, fun week. Vacation was chaotic. I mean, how is it not chaotic when you have 29 people and 1,010,000 kids that are young and screaming and running all over and crying and having fun in one moment and exhausted and tired the next? You know how vacations are. With kids, vacations are not vacations as they were before kids. You don't go lay out on the beach and read a book anymore. You take an hour to sunblock and put on bathing suits to go to the beach for a half hour until the kids get too whiny and tired, and then you have to carry them all home. But it's worth it because they are building memories and we are building memories with them. And tomorrow we are back to a normal day, back to work, back to the real life until my next trip next month. Yes, I go on too many trips. Ask my husband. It's probably about driving him crazy. But back to work tomorrow, and our crazy summer schedule starts. Like, our summer is not going to slow down. It is going to pick up. So my daughter's going from 14 hours a week of gymnastics to 18 hours a week, and it's like in the middle of the day, like 12 to 5, which is not easy when you're working. Like, and I do carpool, but one day I'm gonna have to take her to gymnastics, drop her off, go to work for a few hours. It's a 40-minute drive to gymnastics. Go back to work for a few hours, and then drive back 40 minutes, pick her up, drop her off at the babysitter, and then go back to work and finish up what I didn't finish up. So it's going to be kind of a crazy summer. We have to fit in all those other baseball lessons, piano lessons. I mean, when you have 4 kids, it's like all you do is run them everywhere. So trying to work on top of that, even though I work part-time, is almost becoming impossible. So yes, the craziness starts tomorrow. Well, it never ended, but it gets even crazier tomorrow. So that is the end of my New York City and New Jersey adventure, and I will keep checking in and just working on enjoying the chaos of life.